Hey guys, Shane here with One Shift Time again. How are you doing? It's week 8 with power rankings for the NFL, and I'm not wearing the Broncos jerseys because they're in the power rankings, I can tell you that. But Peyton Manning did have his number retired to the Ring of Honor in Denver this weekend, so kind of cool. Number 10, after a steady rise, the Cincinnati Bengals were beaten by one of the worst teams in the league in the New York Jets. The Ravens slipped past them even though they had a bye week just because they now have a worse record for them, and you can't be losing to the Jets. That's just not good. So we're gonna see this week. There is a Battle of Ohio coming as they take on the Browns. So the Browns are really decimated at this moment. They so many injuries and stuff. So the Bengals should be able to get back into the winning category. We shall see. And number 9, moving up a spot, as we said, they had a bye week, but the Baltimore Ravens do slip past the Cincinnati Bengals there. They had a bye week, so they should be all rested and mentally reset as they go in to beat the Vikings. And the Vikings are another one of those teams that I think they've played a lot better than their record shows. They've come in so many close games. Like I think 4 or 5 of them have come down to overtime or the last play of the game, which is crazy. I'm going to give the nod to the Ravens over the Vikings on that one. Number 8, back into the power rankings for the first time since the first week, and we have the New Orleans Saints, and man, they've been quietly putting together a nice 5-2 record. And they're beating teams like they beat the Buccaneers now. They've beaten the Green Bay Packers, right? Like they're beating good teams. So let's just hope Jameis Winston isn't hurt too bad and that he does come back fairly soon. It did not look good when he was limping off the field there. So the D really did show up though against Tampa. Speaking about that last game, they gave Tom Brady fits. And the O did enough even with the backup quarterback to pick up the win. So I've got to give them props for that. They got the Falcons coming up on Sunday morning there. Number 7, and moving a spot, and admittedly it could have been more. It's the LA Rams. They don't go up SoFi because their last couple of victories have been kind of against easy teams. They had the Lions and the Texans in the last 2 weeks. So if they can beat the Titans on Sunday night, I'm going to give them a lot more props. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to have to put them a lot higher up, though, definitely, if they can manage to beat the Titans. And number 6, speaking of those Tennessee Titans, I do have them in 6th again this week. After dismantling the Chiefs, they needed OT to beat the Colts. And the Colts are another team, like we said, with the Vikings, that probably could have a better record, had some really close games, but Ryan Tannehill has already thrown for 2,000 yards, and Derrick Henry has nearly run for 1,000, but unfortunately it does sound like just today they announced that he has some sort of an injury, I believe maybe an ACL or something, and he is unlikely to return this season. That's going to be a huge loss for them, but I think again the game against the Rams has Game of the Week written all over it, so we'll see how it goes. And at the lowest spot they've been, the number 5 there for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they took a loss to the New Orleans Saints again. They took a big loss to the New Orleans Saints last year. It seems the D might have an answer to Tom Brady, at least in the regular season. We'll see. It just, at the end of the game there in the 3rd and the 4th, it looked like Tom Brady was about to do Tom Brady things, and then he just throws a pick 6, and just like that, game is over. So, PJ Williams grabbed that and ran it back for the 6th, and that ended the game. So they're looking to bounce back as they head into Washington to play the Washington football team. And in number 4, down 3 spots after their first loss of the season, we have the Arizona Cardinals. They were in a great game with the Packers, and they had a chance to win, but right at the end there was that end zone interception. And the guy who intercepted the ball from Green Bay, he was a former Cardinal, so that had to really feel good. I don't really. I'm too concerned for the Cardinals yet, as it is just one game. But we'll see how it goes. They're going to head into San Francisco and battle the 49ers, and the 49ers really fell off the power rankings, so they have a good chance to get back in the win column. And number 3, continuing their ascent up the power rankings, we got America's team, and that is the Dallas Cowboys. And this one was super impressive because they won the game without Dak Prescott. And, he's out with a calf injury, and no word yet if he'll be back against the Broncos, but I think they'll win either way. I wouldn't have said that before this weekend, but Cooper Rush was very impressive, and he led the team, and of course the D did good. It took a little while, but near the end of the game, him and the receivers were really starting to click. Number 2, and again, this is the highest spot they've managed to get themselves up into the power rankings, and that is the Buffalo Bills. They brushed off that loss to the Titans again, and the Titans are a really good team, so I didn't punish them that far. And then, as expected, they walked in Miami and just destroyed the Dolphins. So Josh Allen's looking really good. So is Stephon Diggs and Cole Beasley. They have a layup game pretty much this week as they take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I look for them to continue to win. And that's going to bring us to number 1. And number 1, I'm sure you've guessed, all the way back up the power rankings. They were in it the first week. They dropped out for, I think it was 3 weeks before they came back into the power rankings at all, and it's just been a slow and steady march, and the Green Bay Packers have finally grabbed that number 1 spot in the power rankings. And what is most impressive is this team is just injury riddled. It sounds like big Bob Tunyon there. He is done, unfortunately, for the season. Randall Cobb has luckily come back this season. He must be so happy he came back to the Packers. He got another 2 touchdowns last night. Aaron Jones and Devontae Adams, they're having career seasons. Just insane. And of course, Aaron Rodgers, being Aaron Rodgers again. And I love that the hair he grew out was for his John Wick costume. If you haven't seen his John Wick costume for Halloween, you gotta check it out. He did amazing. Anyway, the Green Bay looks to keep it going, and they're going to go up against the Chiefs, and we're going to have to see which Chiefs team shows up. Is it the good Kansas City Chiefs, or is it the Kansas City Chiefs we've been seeing lately? We will see. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like, subscribe, share this thing around, and as always, you guys have a great one. We'll see you in the